that making money through ecom is way easier than doing it through a 9-to-5 job. It might take a month or 2 months to learn it, but once you do, life changed.
You're listening to The Liftoff Show, the podcast for ambitious e-commerce entrepreneurs, helping you increase sales, profits, and build a powerhouse brand fast. I'm your host, Austin Lovell, and welcome to the show. G'day everyone, and welcome back to The Liftoff Show. Today, we've got our first in-person interview with a very special guest. We have Reza Qorbanie here today. Reza, do you just want to take a second to introduce yourself? Tell everyone what you've been up to in the e-com space.
Austin, thank you very much. I'm very excited to be here. Hello, I'm Reza Qorbanie, and my background is in e-commerce and marketing. And over the last few years, I've built a few companies that have done pretty well. I'll give a quick spiel about where I got started and so forth. And also, I have a stutter as well, so it's just how I talk. So thank you in advance for your understanding. So Austin actually came to Australia on a boat from Iran 20 years ago. I was a baby, and I came here with my mom and my older brother. And we came here on a boat, and my first 18 years of my life, 15 years of my life, we grew up really poor. We went to like the worst schools, the worst public schools in town. The area that we lived in was dodgy as we lived on the dole. We had no support, no family friends. It was really tough for us. And from a young age, I wanted to be rich. I wanted to be successful, take care of my family. And I didn't want to be a victim. So fast forward in high school, in primary school, I was getting picked on every day for my speech, how I talked. Their kids would call me a terrorist. They said my dad was Osama bin Laden. So from the early age, I was like, stuff this, I'm going to go and make it. And then I go into high school. That was tough. And I actually ended up dropping out of high school in year 10. I was 15. And that was a shock. And all my friends at the time were like, bro, what the hell are you doing? Get a job. And I was like, nah, guys, I'm going to make it. I'm gonna make it work. So I started to learn marketing. And in fact, before I did that, I went to TAFE to do a diploma in marketing. I failed that. So not only did I fail high school, I failed that, but I knew I was just getting started. So anyways, long story short, I started to learn marketing from all the greats online. At the time, I was working at Hungry Jack's, and I had saved up a couple grand, and I put all the money into marketing courses. And I slowly began to learn how to do copywriting, how marketing psychology worked. And by the age of 16, I started a marketing agency called Marketing X. Now, back then I couldn't do ecom because I was broke. So I had to sell my skills. And from 16 to 17, nearly 2 years, I made no money. I was making $2,000 a month, working my ass off. And eventually, by the time I turned 17, I started making 6 figures. And I was like, holy crap, I started to travel the world. And I began to work with really cool brands. And some of these brands were really big e-commerce brands. And I was able to get a first-hand look into what made them make so much money. Like bro, imagine insider trading, but inside a big e-commerce brand. So I did very well there. I worked with some huge brands, and by the age of 20, I shifted my focus into working with primarily cosmetic doctors and surgeons because I could make them a lot of money and I could charge them a lot as well. Then COVID happened, and cosmetics had to stop. I lost a lot of my income overnight, and the world had stopped. I had stopped. I was like, crap, what do I do? I was like, I got to do something online. I got to do ecom. I know it's going to work. So, I did a lot of research online about which markets would work and which products would work. And I found stainless steel pegs. And I was like, surely not. Who the hell would be buying these? But I found a website, a competitor who was running a ton of ads on these. The ads were getting a lot of engagement. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to try it out. So I invited my brother Shaheen to actually come and start this with me. And Austin, at the time, he was working FIFO. So 5 weeks on, 5 weeks off, he hated his life. I saw him breaking his back. It broke my heart. So I was like, Tim, bro, come and help me out. And we started a website called pegsforlife.com.au, and you've helped me out on that store a lot. Austin, in the first 12 months, Pegs for Life, selling stainless steel laundry pegs, made $1.1 million in sales. Shaheen was able to leave his job completely. He's now in South America with his wife, working online. And due to the success of the store, I was able to teach my friends, and they started doing very well, which then led to the course. So that was a fairly detailed intro, but I just wanted to share the background there.
No, I appreciate that. And I think what's really cool and what I love to talk about here today is obviously the incredible journey to this point and building a store in 12 months doing over $1 million in sales, which some people, they dream of doing something like that, and you made it happen. And so you've got a lot of experience now in teaching others how to build profitable stores, how to create e-commerce brands from nothing. And so do you just want to talk about the community that you've built, the six-figure dropshipper community, how it's all come about and where it is now in terms of students and what you're teaching?
Bro, I would love to. Because the Peg store did so well, I was posting about it on my Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram. My friends were asking me, Reza, teach us please. And I was like, all right, fine, I'll teach a few of you. Because I was still working at the time with the agency and everything. I didn't have a lot of time. So I taught one guy, his first month he made 10 grand. I taught this other guy, his second month he made 30 grand. So I was like, all right, crap. What I'm teaching works. And that led to a course being built called the Six-Figure Dropshipper Program. And Austin, that course started 13 months ago. And within 13 months, we've managed to grow to over 1.1 thousand students in the course, primarily inside Australia. And bro, guess what? The first month of the course being launched, I hosted an event in my very own apartment here. We had 30 members at the time, and I told them, guys, next year we'll have 1,000 members, and here we are now.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I was just saying to you before the interview as well, being part of that community, I don't think there is another Facebook group that I've seen that has the level of engagement that has. Just the amount of camaraderie, the community around it, everyone's just supporting each other. You don't see that a lot in the e-commerce space. So talk to me about, I guess, having worked with over 1,100 students, and congratulations, by the way,
Cheers.
Getting to that point. What are some common mistakes that you see, I guess, a lot of early stage people who want to build their own brand just like you did and get to that level? What are some of those mistakes that they make a lot of?
Yeah, bro. The most common mistake I see, and look, Austin, most common mistake, there are thousands of them, so I could go on and on. But one thing that comes to mind right now is they don't get the right education. They think they can learn how to make $1 million through watching a few things on YouTube. It's not how it works. Unfortunately, that's not how it works. You really need to learn off of someone intimately who's done what you want to achieve and really learn what they've done step by step. Most people watch a video and they think, oh, okay, I'll do this, I'll do that. But they're missing the whole picture, So the biggest mistake is they don't get the right education and they don't get the support that they need.
Let's talk now patterns of the most successful e-commerce entrepreneurs, the people that have jumped into the group, have followed your step-by-step teachings and are now doing 50, 60, 100K a month, or even just 10K a month, which can be life-changing for a lot of people early on to build something like that when they didn't think it was possible. What are some of the common patterns or traits, I guess, of the most successful e-com entrepreneurs? What do you see the best ones doing?
I love how you've asked me this because we're currently making the version 2 course, and I've actually made a video called Traits of All Successful Students Who Make Over 100K a year. And there are a couple of them, but I'll share a few of them. The first one, Austin, is that they do not negotiate their success. There is no such thing as, oh, I'll try it out for a few months, I'll see how I go. Austin, you started out doing a marketing agency, and you overcame so many challenges, you stuck at it, you didn't quit. You said to yourself, I'm gonna make it work. So that's the first one. A relentless mindset. I'm going to make it work no matter what. Austin, the second thing is they take action straight away. They don't sit around, hope to God it might work. No, they do it straight away. They fail fast, they learn. And the third thing is they get the support, they get the coaching, they ask questions, they're engaged. They aren't there to just try it out for a few weeks and hopefully it works. No, they're going to make it work. They'll do whatever it takes. And also I could say, they did product research this way, or they did their website like that. That's easy to learn. The things that people don't get is that it all starts here first. If you don't get this right first, nothing else will work.
And I think it's valuable that we go to the mindset piece, because if you ignore that, as you said, it doesn't matter what goes on after. It doesn't matter what product research method you use, what Facebook ad strategy you start using, what way you try and market your products. It doesn't matter if you don't have that mindset first to get started. So now if we flip it more to the tactical side, what would you say for someone that's just getting started? It's obviously pretty overwhelming if you don't have the right guide to go through it. What do you think is the most important part of the process? Is it product research? Is it learning how to run ads? Is it just the whole idea of building a brand? Is it goal setting? What's the most important part, you think, in the whole e-commerce equation?
Sure. So a while back, I was watching a course on marketing, and the guy was talking about how in any point in our life there's always a big challenge, and then as soon as you overcome that, there's a new challenge, and then a new one because your conditions change. So at the start, the most important thing is product research. That's the most important thing. If you don't spend time on that and get that right, you're going to fail. Once you found that, then the next challenge is making a strong website. So in terms of product research, the piece of advice I'll give is you've got to find a lot of viable products, and you need to see who is already making money off them. So in Facebook ads, Austin, of course you know this, if you go to a page's page transparency, you can see all the ads that they're running. In my course, I say if you can find a page with at least 20 active ads running, the page is running for at least 4 months or more, and the ads are running for at least a month or more, then you know that they are making money off the product. Because if you've been running ads for a whole month on one thing, guess what? It's working. It's making money. So that's the first key. In terms of websites, you got to have attention to detail. The thing I say, Austin, all the time is ask yourself, would you buy off this website? If the answer is, yeah, maybe, it's not good enough. It has to be like, yes, I would totally buy off this site. And lastly, with Facebook ads, you got to keep testing. You got to keep testing new ads, new images, audiences until you find the winners. And if you test a few times and you aren't making a lot of sales, it's either the ads. But if you've tested a few ads and they haven't worked, then it's time to take a look at the website. If the site's on point, then it's a crap product. And one last thing I'll share on this is you must see this as everything is a test. You don't know what's going to work. You have to test a bunch of things out until something sticks.
Beyond that, I think e-commerce, especially for someone getting started, might see a lot of competition. I see a lot of people going at it, trying to build a store, a lot of success stories, and there's probably a lot of stories of people that don't get through and get the results they're looking for, which could be a bunch of different reasons. But if we're looking at competition, if we're looking at dropshipping in particular, which is one part of the whole e-commerce world, and we look at if you're trying to launch a product that other people are selling as well, how do you recommend going about differentiating yourself? As you said with the Pegs for Life story, you saw a competitor that was already selling it, and yet you built it into $1 million brand in 12 months. So what would you say, I guess, is the way to differentiate yourself? What do you promote in your program? How do you go about selling a product that other people are already selling and still making a lot of sales with it?
Awesome, bro. It's actually fairly simple. If you take a look at most sites, their sites are crap. They aren't actually optimized for conversions. They don't focus on one market, so they're like worldwide postage, which is too broad. They have poor content on the actual product pages, and then you take a look at the ads, and it's like one-worded ads, like one line. It's like, dude, there's no value in that. So if you actually can add in more content on the website, high-quality images and videos on the ads as well. And on the ads, if you focus on having special offers like half-price sale, free postage, Australia-wide, 10,000 customers, social proof. If you really focus on the customer, you'll make a lot of money. I tell the guys in the course, guys, this is easy. People suck. People are very ignorant. They don't take time to make it look good. If you just put some time in this, you'll easily make a lot of money. And a majority of them do.
Before we get into just what the future looks like, because I'm very excited to hear about what the plans are for growing the community and delivering an even better service to all of the students who want to learn how to build an e-commerce brand. What are some markets that you see that are kind of exploding at the moment? Are there certain markets that you look at and you think, if people can launch products in those markets, there are these red hot raving customer bases just ready for it? Are there certain markets or certain areas that you see are going to explode over the next couple of years?
Are you asking in terms of niches?
Let's say niches. Let's say if there's certain markets or niches that are on the way up, they're exploding, you find a lot of successful brands built in. What would you say some of those are?
Sure. So I'm seeing a lot of money being made in these following niches. Pets is a huge one. I personally never thought Americans would spend so much money on their pets, but they do. That one's huge. Secondly, I've seen would be the baby niche. Mums are being made every day. They won't stop. And of course, as a mother, you would want to buy your kid the best thing ever. So pet niche, baby niche is huge. Health niche, pain relief products are huge. Austin, I'll tell you a funny fact, a cool trick that I've learned. So I've seen multi-millions spent now on ads, and I've seen generally what kind of people are buying things. The biggest market I've seen is older women, 40 plus, or even 50 plus. They're spending so much money online. If you can sell something to that market, and you might need to test out four or five things to find a winner, you'll make a lot of money. My mom, who is 53 years old, last month made 83 grand on her store. I can't say what the store is, but her market is older women aged 50 plus. Crazy stuff.
It's ridiculous. And what would you say before we finish up is when you're approaching building a store, you start with product research, or are you looking at the market that you can address? Do you go that route that you just said? We've got this red hot target base of customers. We know that if we can find a product that's going to add value to their life or solve a problem that they're facing, do you start there? Or do you look at products that have promise, products that are great sellers already, and then say, how can we better market those? What tends to be the way that you approach it?
Sure, man. So look, for a person starting out, my advice would be don't focus on the niches. Focus on finding as many viable products as you can, and then naturally you'll find the niches that are working anyway. Honestly, Austin, like for a person thinking of ecom, like the best advice I can give is join a community that cares, that actually coaches you, and do what they say. Don't try and take shortcuts or do that and this. Do the work, and you'll find that making money through ecom is way easier than doing it through a 9-to-5 job. I worked at Hungry Jack's for a few months. That was hard. I had to actually catch a bus there, flip burgers, not make it too burnt, deal with customers. That was hard work. This is easy. It might take a month or 2 months to learn it, but once you do, life changed.
So by the sounds of it, you've had a very busy past 12 months. You've grown a brand from 0 to over $1 million in sales in that period. You've also built a community of over 1.1 thousand e-commerce students as well, all around Australia. What does the future look like? What does the next year look like? And do you just want to talk about what does the plan for the future look like for you and the rest of the team?
Of course, Austin. And bro, the course has grown a lot by accident, because when I first started it, it was mainly to actually help to take care of my friends. But our success as an education organization, it wasn't all because of me. Of course, my ego would love to say it was me, but really why our course has done so well is because of our co-founders, Cameron and Zane. And I've known Zane since I was 4 years old. We actually met at kindergarten, went to primary school, high school. He's like my older bro, amazing guy. He really cares. He's made massive contributions to the course. And in turn, that's helped our 1,000 members. And Cameron Moore, I've known since I was 9 years old. We met at baseball. We played in high school, all this stuff. He is like an engineer. He is so smart. He does things, Austin, that I can't do. And me, Cameron, and Zane, as a team, have built this program into Australia's leading e-commerce course, and soon the world's best. And our vision for the next few years is to become the world's leading e-commerce training program, help 10,000 people build a 6-figure e-commerce store. And Austin, there's no other course out there that offers free tech support. So we actually help our students make their websites. No other course out there helps their people pick what to sell, optimize their websites, optimize their ads. And these ideas were the results of Cameron's ideas, Zane's ideas, my ideas. So Austin, long story short, bro, we're here to take over the game. And I live a great life, and it couldn't have been possible without, the support of my mum from day one, the support of Shaheen, my brother. And Austin, if it wasn't for him, Pegs for Life would not have reached $1.1 million. He helped build the business into what it is. And if it wasn't for Cameron and Zane, the course would be a fraction of what it is. So I'm just very grateful to work with the people I love. Of course, there are tons of others involved too, but those four will always get the biggest shout outs and acknowledgements. So yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited for the next year to see where it all takes you, how fast you build it out, and to hit that 10,000 goal. I think that's even a bit of a small goal. I think you're going to surge well past that. So it's been incredible to see what you and the team have been able to build in such a small period of time. Can't wait to see what happens next. So I appreciate your time, Reza. Thanks for being on the show. It's been a lot of fun. I hope everyone listening has got a lot of value if they're just starting out or maybe trying to scale up their brand. Some ways that you can do it. And I think Reza has dropped an incredible amount of value today. So Reza, thanks again for being on the show. Really do appreciate it.
Austin, I actually had a great time. I was a bit nervous because it was the first time I was on a show like this. Austin, you are a genius, bro. I'm so glad that that we're friends, and it's pretty cool how you live literally across the street from me. So that's freaking awesome.
Thanks again, Reza. And yeah, hope everyone listening in, you really enjoyed this episode. If you do want to check out anything that Reza does, we'll link it in the show notes as well. Thanks again, everyone, and see you in the next episode.